What if I told you they had Tyler Robinson in jail when the confession was sent? Did they fake the Tyler Robinson confession? I think we need to talk about the fact that almost everything we've been told about this Tyler Robinson confession, all four of them, is basically a lie. For the last few weeks, the media, the federal investigators under Kash Patel have used one specific digital footprint to essentially this man in the court of public opinion. They want us to believe he was live posting a confession while he was already very much on the run. But now we seem to have physical evidence that shows the story is actually impossible. And listen, I don't know the person who broke this story personally. I just know him as somebody who has been following this very closely and who has pieced together the information.
They're lying about Tyler Robinson.
And he has just confirmed the receipts that many of us were waiting for. So once you see how the actual timeline of Tyler Robinson's arrest, turning himself in moment conflicts with the social media posts, you will probably never look at a viral confession the same way again. The official story says Robinson was using Discord to tell the world what he did, but court records show that he was already in handcuffs at the Washington County Sheriff's Office when those messages were appearing online. This is the piece of the puzzle that everyone missed, and it suggests that the evidence used to close the Charlie Kirk case was, dare I say, completely manufactured. So stay with me. Give me like 10 minutes because this part really matters. And real quick, I'm Lauren Paritra. Willa Paritra is walking around somewhere behind me, and we are so close to reaching 100,000 subscribers here on YouTube at the time of this recording. And this show is absolutely crushing it on the charts on Spotify right now, thanks to you. We've also, really reclaimed our lead over the Katie Miller podcast, which is the most important of all these metrics. But we would be so grateful if you could take a moment and make sure you're subscribed. Follow the show on whatever platform you're listening to podcasts. Please leave us a comment, 6 words or more, hype. Share this video. Every single comment, every single share is basically a direct FU to Katie and Stephen Little Bitch Miller. So the situation here has turned into a total failure of the system. Baron Coleman and Mia Stretch have released the receipts. And again, this is something that mainstream media is currently pretty terrified to touch, especially if we look at who's in ownership at all of these legacy media platforms. But the court records reveal that Tyler Robinson was officially Mirandized at 6:25 p.m. on September 11th, 2025. By 6:50 p.m., he was already being fully processed inside the Washington County Sheriff's Office. But then the timeline gets interesting. According to the Discord logs that were leaked by federal sources, those confessions and those messages were still being sent almost an hour and a half after he was already in police custody. So unless you think Tyler was allowed to keep his phone and keep live posting on Discord while he was being fingerprinted and booked, that confession is, dare I say, provably false. That might sound like a small detail, but it's actually everything, especially if you've been with us for a minute. This is where things start going real sideways real quick. So then we have the New York Times, who's been reporting on Discord messages where Robinson seemed to be joking around with his friends about the poo-pooer earlier that afternoon. Around 1 p.m., he pointed at the FBI surveillance photo and made a joke about his doppelganger, trying to get him in trouble. Someone in the chat warned him not to go to a McDonald's, which was a reference to Luigi Mangione, and that's where Luigi was caught. And Robinson played along by joking about having a manifesto and a lying around. At the time, media used those messages to claim he had a chilling demeanor, but now those jokes look a lot more like a guy who had no idea he was about to be framed. He was following the news just like everyone else. This was a major news story. He even pointed out that the reports about transgender ammunition were not actually confirmed by the FBI, but here's where it starts to get even weirder. And today's episode is brought to you by Brickhouse Nutrition. Everyone's talking about weight loss injections because the results are so dramatic. They work by lowering your blood sugar, reducing appetite. So what if you're looking to lose weight, but you're not interested in weekly painful injections, especially when you hear about some of those intense side effects? That's why doctors created a weight loss supplement called Lean, and the results are remarkable. The studied ingredients in Lean have been shown to lower your blood sugar, burn fat by converting it into energy, and curb your appetite and cravings so you're not as hungry. But listen, Lean is not for the casual dieter with only a few pounds to lose. The doctors at Brickhouse Nutrition created Lean for frustrated dieters with 10 or more pounds to lose. Let's get you started today with 20% off and free rush shipping so you can add Lean to your healthy diet and exercise plan. Visit takelean.com. That's takelean.com and enter code Lauren, Loren, promo code. Again, that's Lauren, Loren at takelean.com. So there is a massive gap between those casual jokes with his friends and the formal confession that showed up while he was already in a jail cell.
This was posted by somebody at 7:57 p.m. using Tyler Robinson's Discord account. This clown right here is a big fat liar. I'm calling him out right now. He invented that timeline of getting a call and first hearing about Tyler Robinson at 8:02 p.m. when a pal called him to try to arrange Tyler Robinson's peaceful surrender.
And at 8:02 p.m. he calls me. He said, "Hey, I know who Charlie Kirk shooter is,"
which raises a pretty obvious question about who was actually using his account. And once you see that gap, you can't unsee it. So there is a clerical error that they're using as an excuse. Law enforcement officials are already trying to find a way out of this. The deputy attorney has suggested that the date of the booking sheet was just a clerical error, and that arrest actually happened on September 12th. That seems normal until you really think about it for 3 seconds. It's very hard to believe that a mistake like that would be made in the most high-profile investigation in the country. At this point, the situation starts looking very deliberate. It is much more likely that the authorities are trying to change the facts because the public has seen the booking logs. These records show exactly where the suspect was located when the media story was being finalized. And this is where everything starts to look different.
I want there to be no hesitation in understanding of what happened to my husband that day. I want there to always be full transparency, because what I don't want to have happen is for there not to be, and then I am relying then on social media and other news outlets to explain the narrative rather than saying, hey, this is what happened, this is what here's all of the, it's just as hard, all of the facts on the table for you guys to see, and you guys can see on full display what happened to my husband, and there is no ifs, ands, or buts or confusion as to who did it and why.
The investigation has also touched on those close to Robinson. Utah's governor has mentioned that a person previously identified as a roommate was actually a boyfriend who's cooperating with the police. The individual has expressed shock over the situation, and despite this cooperation, the defense is focusing on the physical location of the Discord activity. So metadata suggests that the account was accessed from a location far away from southwestern Utah, where Robinson surrendered. So this supports the theory that the confession was used to sway public opinion and resolve the case quickly. And if we look at like commentators like Andrew Colvett and Blake Neff, those guys promoted the Discord posts as absolute proof of guilt. But they have not addressed the fact that Robinson was in a jail cell when the messages were sent. So I need to know, what do you think? Please let me know your thoughts on these timestamps in the comments. Like I said, Willa and I are so close to hitting 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. We're climbing the charts on Spotify and wherever you listen to your podcast, thanks to you. And every sub, every share, every comment, every hype gets Willa another ball toss and gives her infinite belly rubs. So do it for Willa. We'll be back.